I don't know what to say or express, because this road trip is probably one of the nicest, prettiest road trips I've been on ever in Norway. I've been on a lot of road trips, but this one, it was extraordinary because the weather in the fjords was unusual good. It was spring, it was blooming. Yeah, you can see my smile, I'm just... And it was actually also the first trip in our new camper, which was really fun, and to get to like try out the van and see what things do we need to change and fix to make it fully complete. But it works, we can use it, we can sleep in it, we can use the kitchen, so I'm really happy. So I just got back from being on the road for the last 2 weeks. It started out in Jomfruland, which is a small island in Telemark, not so far from where I'm from, like my hometown in Skien. I spent a lot of time on this island as a kid because we had a boat and we used to go to islands and places on the coast in the weekends, and I would beg my mom to go here every weekend because I loved it there. You're not allowed to drive on the island, which I love, so you either have to like come by foot on the ferry or you have to park your car at the campsite. And then you have to either bike or just walk around the island. It's not so big, so you can like easily walk it, but it's so fun to just... We rented a bike and it was so fun to just explore with it. So I think it was my first time being back here in 10 years. So it was just a couple of beautiful days on this island, and the van worked perfectly well. The camper Nord, she is a Caddy Maxi, year 2021. It's not the biggest car, but it works. It's a nice mix between a regular car and this big camper, because we're using the car in Oslo as well, so it wouldn't make sense to have like this large camper parked here in the city. So it's a nice in-between thing. And I've got a lot of questions about how much I've spent on building it and also just buying the empty car. This is how much I spent this time. I think like something around this. This is what I spent last time when I built Vera, my old camper, which is definitely way more cheaper, but I just feel like I wanted to invest in a car that I can have for some years. And if you compare this to buying a cabin, it's definitely much cheaper to build and buy this camper than to buy an actual cabin. So I see it as still as a budget-friendly way of travel and as a vacation home. Of course, it's a lot of money to spend on a car, but it gives me so much joy, and I know that I will have so many nice, fun adventures with Nord. So also, so many have been asking, can 2 people fit in this car? And I would say yes. Like, me and Andreas are not the biggest people. I'm 165, he's 172. The bed is 2 meters long, so you can still fit tall people. It's definitely a small space, and you have to spend a lot of time close to each other when you're on the road, but we like that. It's fine. Like, sometimes I do hikes alone, and then Andreas maybe sit in the car and work, or work at a cafe for a few hours. So we get like some alone time, but I enjoy his company, and I don't mind being so much together when we're on the road. After a couple of days at Jomfruland, we took the ferry back, and then we drove to Hardanger, which is like a 5-6 hours drive. And I just had to go back in the blooming season this year because we went last year, and that was my first time seeing the blooming in Hardanger. And oh my gosh, how beautiful. It was so lush, so colorful, so vibrant. And since it's like kind of off season, or in the beginning of the season, it was so quiet, almost no people. You get all the spots to yourself. The bakeries were still open, it was still things happening, so you could visit farms and buy freshly made apple juice and stuff. Also, if we feel safe when we sleep in the car, and I feel very safe. I never usually camp anywhere where it's no one around and nothing close by. I like to camp at either campsites or at places close to maybe some other people camping, or close to maybe a gas station or a tourist cabin or anything, because I don't feel safe if I'm just on top of a mountain road where like there's nobody there. Then I wouldn't feel that kind of like that safe. Having so many years being so afraid of everything, it's been a big struggle for me to camp. anywhere at one point. I just realized it's all up in my head. I have never had a bad experience with camping. It's all up in here. And when you lay in your bed and you're scared or something and you start Googling things, you know, and then you just like keep making up things and it just makes things worse. So I try to be calm, think that most likely nothing will happen. I will wake up tomorrow, have the most beautiful day. So I just have to trust my gut, not my head, and it will be fine. And we went back to Oslo to pick up Tyr, the closest we have to our own dog. It's my uncle's dog. He's a big city dog. He's a Maltipoo, a small like teddy bear. And this was his first camping trip. So I was a bit concerned about, is this going to work out well? And is it possible for him to feel safe in this car? I think we might have turned him into a camp dog because he had the time of his life. And this was our 17th of May road trip. So we went to Stryn, one of the most beautiful areas in Norway, because that's where we wanted to wake up on the Norway's birthday. I've never seen this valley or this area so pretty. It was so calm, and again, not so many people. This place is packed in the summer. Like you can't almost drive. I usually never go here in July because it's not a point, because you have to come super early to get a camp spot, and it will be so many people there, and it's not good for the place to have so many people at the same time. So I like to go here in May, early June, or come back in the fall. Look at this place. You can hear the sheep, you can hear the water, and it's so calm. It's so warm. It's been 27 degrees today, which is not normal for Norway, or especially this part of Norway. I've been smiling so much today that my cheek hurts because I've just been all over the place, because it's one of the first real summer days in the West, and I'm just wow. So many of you asked how we shower and how we go to the toilet while we're camping, and it's not that complicated because we usually switch campsites or camp spots every day, so we always drive past a gas station, or if we stay at campsites you have shower and toilet there. And when it comes to storage in the van, we have quite a lot of storage, I would say. We have made sure, because we have the kitchen drawer on the left side, and then on the right side we have just space for storage, and then we have storage under the bed in the front where the side door is, and then we're also getting a roof box for even more storage. And then we also have some space behind the seats in the front. And when it comes to food, we keep just some dry food in the kitchen drawer. It's like actually a lot of space under there, and that makes me really happy because I get to like have all my spices and things I use for cooking. I love cooking on the road, so that's so fun, and I really feel like I finally have like a real camp kitchen, and I've been missing that so much. So that's the thing that brings me the most joy with this van. I just love cooking, and food is so good outside. Oh my god. And we don't have so much cold groceries to store because we don't eat meat or fish or anything, so it's mostly vegetables. And then we use some milk products and eggs. Eggs can be just stored in the kitchen drawer, and then if we buy some cheese or anything, we just buy it the same day that we're going to use it, so it doesn't have to be stored any place. I got quite a few questions about if we have any problems with mosquitoes and insects, and actually no. I'm actually surprised of how little that problem has been for me. I'm usually traveling in the north and in the west, and there's always a bit wind, and when there's wind there's usually no mosquitoes. After spending a few days in Stryn and Loen and Olden and all these cute places, we traveled to Aurland and Flom and all these villages and valleys around. And again, so beautiful. And I got to show Andreas one of my favorite villages in Norway, Undredal. Good morning from Undredal in Aurland. It's like 8 in the morning, and I couldn't sleep more because the sun hit the van and it got so warm. So I was just like, why not go for a morning hike? So I'm trying to make my way up to see this view, but it's already like killing it. Look at this. This is actually one of the villages that Frozen was inspired by to make like the narrow fjord village in the movie. Okay, this seems right. Look. Oh, did you hear that? That's rocks. Big rocks. That's so scary. That's like my biggest fear when I'm camping in the fjords with like steep, narrow fjord walls. But like if you camp under there, you're like really never safe because you never know if, you know, rocks can fall. So scary. And also Marianne's bakery in Aurland. That can be the only reason for me to go here because that is one of my favorite bakeries and it has been for so many years. The cardamom buns are 10 out of 10 and also the sandwiches are so good. Like baked goods is the best thing I can get. About food and stuff, I got quite a few questions about how I keep my workout routine when I'm traveling. And it's pretty easy because I don't have a strict workout plan. When I'm in Oslo, I love to go to the gym and I do my Pilates classes and stuff here. But when I'm on the road, I'm usually active anyways. I do hikes almost every day. And if I feel like doing a workout, I have like this platform Form that I'm subscribing to that have so many good workout videos. You should check it out if you haven't. And I love also Move with Nicole on YouTube. She has so many free Pilates classes on YouTube. Love to be active, and as long as I can move my body and do anything that makes me happy. And when it comes to how we find camp spots, I really recommend using Norway's campsites because they're so good and they're always located at so many beautiful spots. So usually you pay around 300 NOK a night to stay there, and then you get like access to toilet, showers, to do the dishes, maybe a kitchen even. But otherwise I use Park4Night, which is an app where you can find camp spots. You can see spots that are better ranked than others and stuff. And otherwise I just try to find on the map. I could easily spend a couple of hours trying to find a good camp spot because that gives me so much joy, and I love to have a nice place to cook dinner and a beautiful place to wake up. Maybe have a place close by the water or a lake or something so I can take a morning swim. The biggest comforts I miss on road trips. And honestly, there's nothing, because that's the whole point of doing this mixed lifestyle where I get to live in Oslo, in this vibrant city where it's so busy and I have access to my warm shower. I can go to cafes, restaurants, do cultural stuff. And then when my head gets too messy and I just need some air, I will pack a few sweaters and my swimsuit and get in the car, drive to nature, and then just take things slow. If I need a shower, I just jump in the lake or in the fjord. And no, I can't cook all the things I can make in my home kitchen, but I will still be able to make really good food and have all these nice present moments where you're appreciating things so much more because you don't have access to everything anymore. So at one side, things get more comfortable. Kind of hate how busy our lives in the city is. I feel like everyone is always on their way to somewhere or something, and we forget to just stop and breathe and enjoy. So that's why I love going out in the car, because it forces me to just stay in the moment, to just be in my little bubble in the van. So I just love the mix and the big contrast of being here at home and then just go out and have a slow, simple life out there. And I just think that it's so healthy to not being able to do whatever we want to all the time, because we live in such a materialistic world where we can just have access to anyone, anything all the time. So I just try to be content with where I am and be comfortable, even if I'm uncomfortable, if that makes sense. Life on the road is beautiful. Take care and thank you for watching. Bye!